Welcome back to another episode of Legacy Battle. I am Michael Adams. My panelists tonight from the Gridiron Battle Zone, Brian King, Steelers Nation South, Rollo Coffin. We also want to welcome back former WBA, WBC title holder Brian Minto. And we are going to be discussing today the greatest boxing bout from 2000 to 2009 non-heavyweight matches. And we are joined by the former IBF lightweight and NABF super lightweight title holder. Incredible fight record of 49 wins, one loss, one draw, 19 knockouts. We got the Southpaw here, the Pittsburgh kid, Paul Spadafora. Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. As always, we're going to have a Q&A for Paul after our little debate here. Our honorable mention, two fights that just missed our picks tonight was Felix Trinidad versus Fernando Vargas and Israel Vasquez versus Rafael Marquez. But our first fight tonight is represented by Rollo, and then after Rollo talks, we'll get Paul's information, what he thought of the fight.
All right. So the first fight that I have is Mickey Ward versus Arturo Gotti 1. It was the first classic in a three-fight classic rivalry, but this is by far the best fight of them all. It was the fight of the year by both Ring Magazine and the Boxing Writers Association of America. It was a brutal fight showing intense heart and incredible toughness by both fighters. Mickey Ward was coming off a loss to James Leha, and Gotti was coming off a win over Taron Millet. Gotti would take the upper hand in the early rounds, with Ward suffering a cut above his right eye in the first round, like literally like a minute 45 into the first round. Gotti was the early winner, being up 3-0 in the first three rounds. Round four would go back and forth, and Gotti would hit Ward with a low blow that would put Ward down and get him a point deduction. Round five would see both men go land 50% of their punches. That's incredible. 50% of their punches. And Gotti would win round six and seven is pretty big. He was dominating that fight up to that point. Round eight would see Ward realizing he was down on the scorecard, and he would fight with a little bit of sense of urgency. He would start landing brutal body shots, would have Gotti looking tired and and setting the stage for which many people will call the round of all time. Round of the century is what many people called it. 13 seconds into round nine, Ward would put Gotti on his knee with a severe body shot, which clearly put Gotti in pain. Emmanuel Stewart and Larry Merchant, who were two of the commentators in the fight, didn't think he would get up. I mean, he was grimacing so hard. But he would get up, and Ward basically beat him down for the next 30 seconds. But Gotti took the shots, and he actually eventually came back and won the next like minute 30. For the next 45 or 60 seconds, he was dominating that fight. For the rest of the round, they traded shots and momentum, and at the end of the round, Gotti had led at 69% of his power punches, and Ward had landed 73% of his power punches, and both of them had landed over 40% of their 40 plus power punches in that round. Ward would eventually win the decision in the 10th round, but if you haven't seen round 9 of the Ward Gotti 1, I advise you, YouTube, check it out. It is one of the best fights you will ever see.
Thank you, Rollo. Nice job. Love the hat, by the way. Paul, we come to you. What were your thoughts on this fight, and did that early cut affect the fight going forward?
I mean, I think it definitely affected the fight, but this, like we was talking about earlier, they wasn't good. That's what they was going to do. They set their mind was set on. I don't matter. It's blow for blow, and that's just how it was. That's just how it was going. You know what I'm saying? And then the body shots played a big factor, but in the cut over I played a big factor too, in my opinion.
Yeah. Were you surprised by the outcome?
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
And how do you think you would have fared against either one of these guys?
Uh, I think I mean I don't want to talk crazy. I just want to just tell you how I feel. I
Okay.
think I'd have had my way with Arturo Gotti because I'm a firm believer in styles make fights, and I think Arturo Gotti would have been a sort of I mean, it's hard to make a Toro an easy fight, but I think I could have made it a better, just a little bit. I don't know if you guys ever seen Ivan Robinson when he fought. Ivan Robinson, he fought.
Yeah, I watched
That
that.
was that was a crazy fight, and
Yeah.
but I think that because of the angles that I go on, I think I
Mm.
would have did a lot. I would have did better with Arturo Gotti, Mickey Ward. No, I mean I'm going to be honest with you. I think Mickey Ward was. And I hate saying that no, he could beat me, but I just got to tell the truth. Um, I think Mickey Ward would have had I would have. It would have been a hard fight for me versus Mickey because of the fact of how strong he is as a human, how big he is, and the way he goes about fighting, the way his style is. Styles make fights, man.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on
I
to our
think he would have
second
had a
fight.
hard
Oh,
time with you on your movement, your defense, and counter punching. He was straightforward. He was a tough guy, but I think you could have handled Mickey Ward and the Toro Gotti the same with that. That's my opinion. When you're in your prime and doing what you were doing, I don't think there was too many guys that could put a glove on you.
Yeah, but he was just a big guy, just and he would throw that right hand like he threw the right hand like the jab and come right back with the jab and go back to the body,
Yeah.
and and uses his momentum and which was very strong. That would I just feel that it would mess my rhythm up, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's move to our second fight. Brian Minto, what's your fight tonight?
Manny Pacquiao, the first one versus Eric Morales, when Morales won 115 to 113. Um, I think it was Pacquiao had a cut over his eye, was an accidental clash in the fifth round, and they said it contributed to the outcome of the fight. So, what's your thoughts on the first Morales Pacquiao fight? What do you think?
Mine be.
Yeah.
Listen to this. I gotta say something, not to be just to be. I'm just gonna keep it real. Well, I feel that I mean Morales won damn near 8 or 9 of them rounds. But you guys got to remember, if you don't you recall that they wouldn't let Pacquiao use them Reyes gloves. You remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
And like Roy said, well, it don't matter what gloves they use. No, that's not true. That's not true because Pacquiao is a one punch knockout guy. You know what I mean? He's able to knock you out with one punch.
Uh-huh.
I just think that cut that happened in that when that cut happened, it made the outcome the way it was. Like he didn't to me he didn't win that many rounds. I mean that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. But
Yeah.
And that fight was what was it billed as coming with everything, I think is what they called it. I think that was the name of like how they always name the fights. It was billed as coming with everything. But didn't Pacquiao have to like move down to super lightweight for that, if I'm recalling correctly, or something like that? It was featherweight. It was something really light, I thought.
yeah, I think they fought at 130 if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well. Well, since we're on Morales, let's stick with Morales because he's so good. He's on our list twice tonight. I got Eric Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera, February 19th, 2000. So just barely made the cut as far as time goes here. But billed as champion versus champion. It was for the WBC and WBO Super Bantamweight Championship live in Las Vegas. This was the first match of their trilogy, and it was won by El Terrible. That was his nickname, Eric Morales, in a 12-round split decision. They came in as the number 10 and number 4 pound for pound best fighters in the world at that time, and it was considered a controversial decision. They didn't touch gloves to start this fight, which I felt that was kind of disrespectful, but we got two fighters from Mexico with different styles that wanted to be the next great Mexican boxer after Macho Camacho or Cesar Chavez, excuse me. But it was a back and forth fight. It never stopped. And they earned each other's respect with acknowledgement before the final round, where they kind of gave like a nod to each other. And that was just excellent stuff. This was a technical boxing masterpiece. Many consider the best fight of all time. The final round was an incredible final round with a final 18 seconds that was just pure rock'em sock'em robots. Both knowing that the score was so close, they were trying to get the knockout. So an incredible finish in the final 18 seconds there. Paul, your thoughts on this fight?
I thought Barrera won the fight. Me personally, I thought Barrera made. I mean, he did extremely great work to the body. Great work to the body. At one point in that fight, I think it might have been like I don't know, maybe later on in the round, he literally knocked him out and woke him back up with another punch. I was like, "What the hell? That was crazy." I was because I could see it. I could see it. I couldn't even believe it. Like what? I was like, "What the hell?" And
That ever
then
happened to you before?
that ain't no. Thank God.
I remember going to the wrong corner before. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, if you go back and watch that fight, I'm pretty sure it was the seventh or the ninth round. He hit him out of the corner, hit him with the right hand, boom, and then he hit him with another. And to me, if he would have just relaxed and not got so greedy and threw his left hand, he would just fell right down. But he hit him again and woke him right back up.
Yeah.
That
crazy.
shit was
I'm gonna have
crazy.
to find that clip and make sure I
Yeah,
get it on
I
here.
gotta
That's a
look at
good
that
one.
again. Yeah,
I don't remember that. That's crazy. But yeah, and you're right. A lot of people felt that Barrera had won that fight. He did win the next two. They were all pretty close fights, but yeah, that first one was a controversial decision, but excellent fight for sure. So, but let's see, BK, who you got?
I got to set the stage for this one. May 7th, 2005, Las Vegas, Nevada. In this quarter, we have Chico Diego Corrales, 5'10", 135 pounds, 27 years old, out of Sacramento, 39-2, WBO lightweight champion. Then in this corner, we have El Terrible, Jose Luis Castillo, 5'7", 135 pounds, 31 years old, out of Sonora, Mexico, 52-6-1, the WBC lightweight champion. So both boxers were advised to take the fight to the inside because both corners felt like their man had an advantage there. The result was a squared up war that had both men battered headed into round 10. Castillo had a sizable cut above his left eye, and Corrales' left eye was swollen, nearly completely shut. Round 10 was one for the ages. Just 30 seconds into the round, Castillo knocked Corrales down. Corrales stayed down until a count of 10. Just a handful of seconds later, Castillo put Corrales on the canvas again. This time, Corrales just beat the count, and the fight resumed after a count of 9. Corrales had told members of the media prior to the fight that he would go through hell in order to win. So something must have clicked at that point in the match because he unleashed hell on Castillo. He followed up a huge right with a barrage of punches that had Castillo knocked out unconscious while he was still upright against the ropes, and the referee moved in quickly to end the bout. Castillo would go on to fight several more years, but he never regained another significant title again. And for Corrales, he was able to unify the belts and he became the undisputed top man at the lightweight level. But sadly, he would never win another fight because shortly later, he lost his life in a horrendous motorcycle accident. But the legendary 2005 bout between Corrales and Castillo will live on forever.
Paul, you told us you just watched this one. What were your thoughts?
It was amazing watching it. And I was just towards the. I mean, the referee did a good job by taking a point off of him. He's lucky he didn't get disqualified. Like if you really when it's like that. I mean, I know that you don't want, but I'm just saying he literally was doing that on purpose. And you can't blame him. And how he came back on that, I can't believe how he came back. Like that's like you can't even make something like that up. He was getting hit with shots. And this is what people don't understand. He was getting hit with body shots, and some of them were low. Some of them were definitely low. Like Castillo likes to do shit like that. But and then he was getting hit with some serious uppercuts.
Yeah.
some uppercuts, but it was an amazing fight. I mean, I don't know.
The
That
will
might
to
be one of
win, man. That guy, he had the will to win.
the will to win. Oh my
Yeah, that's
God.
it right
It's
there.
like some Rocky Balboa stuff there.
Yeah.
I had the Tiger.
That
Yep.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
He just wasn't gonna quit. A lot of guys sometimes will just say it's enough and just
Yeah.
give up. But he didn't, man. That was a great comeback.
Well, let's jump into our vote. BK, who you taking as the best fight?
Yeah, I mean, I can't take the one I repped, so I'll go with Ward versus Gotti. I mean, that ninth round was something else.
Okay. Brian.
I I like the Gotti fight too. And the Morales or not the Morales, the Diego Corrales versus Castillo. I love that. That was a great ending.
Okay.
But I think you got to give it to the Gotti Ward because of the trilogy, and they were all great fights, man. They left it all in that ring that night.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for me, I like BK's little argument there. I'm gonna go with Corrales Castillo. Paul, what would be your fight of the night here of the four we were
I mean,
discussing?
I'm biased because I'm not a real big fan of Manny Pacquiao, and I'm so happy he got beat by Eric Rose. But I mean, the best fight that I mean, I would have to say that Corrales and Castillo. That
All
was an
right.
that's an amazing fight.
Nice job, guys. Let's move into our Q&A, and we're going to let Brian start with the first question here tonight. He trained you, so now you get some payback. You can ask him anything you want.
Yeah, no. So Paul's got a great story. I've heard it. I think that a lot of people need to hear it. He's got a book out right now. What's the title of the book called?
Fighting to the end.
Yeah, Fighting Till the End. It's
Yeah.
Paul's got a good story, and so overcoming all of these things in your life, your career, what do you say got you to that place where you needed to go?
Without hands down, God.
Amen,
He
amen.
saved
Yeah.
me. Dude, he saved me in so many situations. It's not even about the box. I mean, the boxing was a whole nother situation, but my life situation, I'm talking about. Oh, I was just telling my she didn't even notice. I'm like, I have a window near my bedroom, right? I have PTSD because of windows. When I was 6 years old, my brother's dad tried to shoot me through the window. He ended up getting a 5 to 10 years over that. And then I had to leave my mom and so far and so on. I'm just saying, but there's no way around it. Like I can't believe I'm about to be 50 years old. I never thought I could make it to be that long. I never thought it would be possible. My dad died at 33. My little brother died at 40. You know what I'm saying? Thank God my brother got clean. So like I just have to give it all to God, man. He I always had a good relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? I always had to, you know and that's what I gotta say. I give it all to
Well,
God.
no, not good. Yeah, I had a bad upbringing too, and I
Yeah.
understand all the traumas that we go through
Yeah.
and all the chaos from all that. So, and that's what I kind of wanted to share that with these guys and let them know that your story's amazing, all the trauma you had in your life, and now where you're at now, you're in a better place than I've seen you for a long time. So I'm proud of you and I love you, man, for all
My
that.
man,
And
love you too,
yeah,
baby.
giving God the glory is why I'm here, why I'm sitting here talking, why I even had my boxing career. So I believe that, that's what I wanted these guys and everybody who listens to the podcast. Like your story is amazing. Some of the stuff that you've told me, I was blown away, man.
We gotta get. I gotta get some of these fighters, man. I have three guys fighting on the expo thing. It's like a big card. It's just fun. It's just fun. Fun. I get to give back things that I know for sure that ain't wrong. I know when I tell you something in the boxing gym, there's a guarantee it's right.
Yeah, as being
Nice.
mentored throughout your youth, right? Like PK, somebody was a father figure, somebody that helped you through like all of the things that you needed help with, because I know what it is to go without a father for years and not never being there for you. But that's what like I think is a great thing to see you doing now. You're like training all these kids and picking them up and I don't know what, traumas they have, but I mean, you're a good testimony to show them where they can go. Like
Yeah,
you, from what you went through and you became world champion, man, that's you got to give God the glory on that. That's an amazing story, man.
for sure, for sure.
Hmm. Go ahead, BK.
Paul, I want to take you back to Dominican fighter Victorino Sosa. He only lost a few times in his entire career. He lost to Mayweather, he lost to Cotto, and he lost to you. You defeated him for your first title defense match in the year 2000. So
Yeah,
what was that like to go against him? What was Sosa like in the ring?
that was like hell right there, like hell on earth. He hit me with a left hook in the third round.
Mhm.
I didn't wake up till like the ninth round. Thank God I was doing it. I have a friend. He passed away too. I can't believe. I don't be Brad. Did you hear about Leroy?
No,
Remember Leroy? He used to run. He was my running
yeah,
coach. Yep. He passed away. But anyway, I that it was thank God that I prepared the way I did for that fight. Like with the road work. I mean the road I put in so many right runs, not just running 5 miles. No, I'm talking about running on the clicker. You know what I'm talking about, B. When
Buzzies.
no,
Was
I
you?
wasn't at Buzzies. I was up in Almontes. I stayed up in Almontes. That was my
Okay.
manager. So yeah. And and just having the sparring partners that I had in the way it was able to get me through that fight. It was able to get me through the fight. My mental was a my IQ of to be able to manipulate him to thinking that this is what he needs to do when what he needed to do was go back to what he did to get me knocked out. But I was that type of fighter where I was able to manipulate another guy and make you believe that you're doing the right thing when you're doing everything wrong. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sort of like
Yeah.
baited him into a certain approach.
Yeah. Like if I would have went back to and did all like what I mean he forgot about using his jab is what happened.
Mhm.
And then once he forgot about that, he had a better chance hitting the moon with a BB gun to put me in another position like that.
Wow.
I
You know what I'm
think
saying?
yeah, you got on your game. It took you a little bit, but once
Yeah.
you started taking them little turns and breaks here and there and not letting them.
But B, I mean, I really think that it wasn't so much of what I did, it was what he didn't do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So July 11th, 2014, you win your final fight against Hector Velasquez at Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh. Awesome, ended it there in the Berg. But what went into that decision to make that your last fight when you were still on top of the boxing game? I mean, you
Bro,
still were a very credible boxer at that time.
yeah, but see, here's the situation. Here's the thing. When you're putting some substance in your body, I'm a real fighter. I'm a real fighter. Like I grew up boxing and doing the right thing. I know that you can't be drinking, you can't be putting drugs in your body and expecting to go out there and fight 10 rounds with people. You know what I'm saying? As soon as that my outside life overcame my boxing life, and it was just like, nah, it wasn't even worth it no more to me, you know.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, I thought I was going to get a chance to fight Adrian Broner, so I went down to train with Kenny Porter for like 6 months after that fight, and I couldn't take a punch no more, and it was just over. Once it's over, PK told me, I asked PK because I never thought, I love boxing. I was like, when would I know that where you're whenever you should be done? He said, when you can't take it no more, and that's what it came down to.
yeah. That's what happened to me. I got knocked down by an amateur in the gym, and I was like, man, I right at my end, and I just figured it's time to go.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
sucks. It
yeah.
sucks. I mean, it sucks bad. I mean, sometimes I get, I ain't gonna front. Sometimes I'll fuck around and go in there and spar just to feel, just to, just to.
Yeah. Well, no more from me. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey guys, listen to this. Listen to this. So I had this amateur, right? You ready for this? So he's got a fight coming up. We go all the way out to out where's Albuquerque?
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
you know what I
New
said?
Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
Mexico, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we get there and his fighter don't show up and he's my weight class for real. You know what I mean? And I see him over there crying and shit, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna make this happen. I put an exhibition on with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's still in me. I still love it. You like when I
yeah.
love it, it never goes away. You know. But
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta watch what you're doing going in there.
Well,
But
maybe you could make that Mayweather fight. He,
you can't make it up. I think
yeah,
I'd have a better chance hitting the moon with a BB gun for him to fight me. He ain't. He don't want. He's not gonna give me no fight. He ain't. That's just not because he can't beat me. Not because it's real simple. When somebody whoever made that video and they put it out on the internet make it try to make a fool out of somebody, what would make him even want to give me money? I
yeah,
Yeah.
I seen him at the Hall of Fame, and I have no beef with him. I go to his gym and train sometimes, but me getting a fight like that, nah, he ain't giving me. There's no ways, and no, he ain't putting no money in my pocket.
So you talk to him a little bit? No.
Well, I talk to him whenever I see him, but when
Yeah.
I go to his gym and train and stuff, I'll be down
Yeah.
there for like 4 or 5 hours and stuff. Mayweather's a great fighter.
It's crazy in there when they spar, man. Them guys, it's like a battleground. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. They don't even
Well,
put a timer on. They just fight.
I know.
yeah.
That's crazy.
BK, why don't you finish us out? Give us one last question here.
All right, Paul, I got one last question for you. August 20th, 1999, you're able to improve your career record to 27-0, defeat Israel Cardona, and most importantly, secure the IBF lightweight title. So tell us what was that night like for you, and how did it feel to finally get your hands on that belt?
All right, this is about to be. I'm gonna try to make it as quick as I can do because when you hear this, you're never gonna believe it. All right, think about this, guys. Listen. I was 3-0 I was 3-0 as a professional fighter, right? You guys listening?
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, I was 3-0. I went home. I'll never forget it. I was living with my grandma because my mom was having problems. You know what I mean? I never forget the number 7814491. PK calls me on the phone. He just dropped me off. It's like I'm eating some pasta with my grandma and whatever. Put on USA Tuesday Night Fights. You gotta watch you. You'll beat them right. You'll beat the shit out of these guys right now. I put it on and Israel Cardona is fighting David Sample. And actually, David Sample, in my opinion, was getting the better of him. They kept shutting the lights out on him, and then it's ironic that Shane Mosley went to 147. He left and went right there, and then I ended up fighting Cardona for the title. And I'll never forget what PK told me. Like he just basically said, "This style right here will make you look like you're unbelievable." And man, he hit the nail on. He everything he ever told me with boxing, he was right. I mean, that style, and especially what was the funniest thing is when you do the square offs on ESPN. And just think of this: I'm squaring off with a guy when you remember when I said 3-0 as when I was a pro. I'm squaring off, and he's really trying to lie to everybody in Pittsburgh, saying he's going to knock me out. I'm going to run from him and all that. I said, this is going to be the funnest thing I ever do in my life. And I had to make sure I wouldn't want to be because I know you guys remember. I always think about that Billy Conn and Joe Louis at the end of the fight. At the end, boom, he gets caught. You know what I mean? No, that wasn't going to happen that night. That
Yeah.
was torture.
Yeah. You played it
Awesome.
safe.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you, Paul, so much for coming
Hey,
on.
thanks for
Just an
having me. I
honor.
enjoy this
Yeah,
type of stuff, man.
yeah. And
I
and
see
and
my
and
boy B. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
and Brian Minto, thank you for coming back on. We appreciate you too.
Yeah.